Hey there, YouTubers. In this video, we're going to see if disabling Intel's Turbo Boost will save you on the amount of electric used if you're GPU mining. So we've got a RTX 3060. I've got this device here that's going to tell us how many watts this computer is going to use. And we'll see what that is. We'll get it up and running, mining away. And then I will hit the Turbo Boost. We'll check the power before and after Turbo Boost, okay? So let me get this thing up and running. So in this video we're going to use throttle stop, but we could do this in the BIOS as well. So right now it is benchmarking and it's using between 77 and 85 watts. Right now 65. And we're just going to use NiceHash miner. So this will take a little bit of time. So I think we'll expand what we're doing as well. I've got the i7-12700F. We'll show a bunch of different things. One, just the GPU and the CPU mining. And you can see right there we're making 19 cents. Still benchmarking, and right now it is around 200 watts, okay? So our battery is probably only going to last an hour on this at this rate. And you can tell our GPU has not even really started cranking yet. Starting to warm up, folks. It was at 46 Celsius, 53. Should just about be done with this. It is using 308 watts now. 389 watts, and we are still benchmarking. Alright folks, so we are actually getting it done now. Both of these are mining, okay? So hasn't adjusted the amount of money it's making, but it does say it's mining. Power supply, I've seen it get up. Well, now it's gotten up as high as 390 with both of these. So, like I said, we're going to concentrate on the CPU first. You can see what we're making there, not a whole lot of money. We're going to shut off the CPU from mining. That dropped that down to $1.27, as you can see. Just the GPU's mining. And we are 237 watts, okay? 238. So it looks like it's consistently, there's our RTX 3060, consistently staying at 239, 238. So according to NiceHash, low hash rate card uses 115 watts. Might as well check the CPU if it's on here. It's probably not. Maybe too new. Doesn't appear there's any 12th gens on here. 12th gen seems to do better than 10th 11. So, but all right. So 240, I have seen that get as high as 250, but 240, 237, it's all kind of all over the place. This may be difficult to do. Let's go ahead and engage throttle stop. And this is it's very simple to do. All we have to do, open it up, click yes, and then over here we want to disable Disable turbo boost. Save it. You can see still making the same amount of money. Wattage dropped down to 225, folks. So that may be worth it in the long run. Disabling turbo boost. Obviously, using a crappier CPU might be much better too, right? You know, this is only useful obviously if you've got a pretty steadily CPU, right? If you're dealing with the Celeron, this is not going to do anything for you. But you can already tell just by that, making the same amount of money, but the wattage has dropped down. Okay, is it significant? But it does represent 5 to 8% drop in power, right? So that's good. Let's go ahead and turn on our CPU, see if we can get this back up to where it was. So it's going to start mining. The wattage has not changed. I haven't brought you guys over to that yet. I want to see when the amount of money bumps up to show us we're making more money, right? Okay, the wattage has increased, but not where it was. Okay, so there we are. Amount of money we're making's up, 258. Now, is that lower than before? I believe it is, right? So if we cut that off. We turn this off again, 258. We see 32 watts is used up CPU mining. Okay. Now let's turn this back on. This guy's going to go back up, at least it should, back up to, should go back up to 239 range. At least gradually it will. Alright, so it's bouncing around 233 up to 237. I haven't seen it get back to 239, but all the same, there was a slight reduction. It might not have been as good as 5 to 8%. Right now, turbo boost is on, so you can see here is your base speed 2.10. Then it is occasionally turbo boosting higher. Now, if I turn this guy back on, if I mine for CPU again, you see the utilization just went up. I don't know if it'll stay up there, but at least for right now, boom, 100%. So it's way up there, right? And that corresponds to 384 watts being used. That is a significant amount for CPU mining. Does not appear that it makes a lot of sense to CPU mine on this. So we're going to kick that back off. Actually, sorry. I want to do one more thing. So we got this on. We're going to go back up to into the 300s. I want to show you this though. We're 100% utilization, 4.11 gigahertz, and then we're going to turn on disable turbo boost. 385 watts right now, 386, 360. So just so you guys can see that, 386. Disable turbo boost, save it. That's going to drop this way down. You see how far that dropped down, but our utilization is still way up. Slight drop in money made. Power though, That's a significant drop, folks. Oddly, if that stays at 260, this honestly is the best way to run this, it would look like. So we got the power down quite a bit when we had the CPU wasn't mining. But doing CPU mining and GPU mining with turbo disabled, and you see the numbers it's making. We gained 16 cents versus the 19 cents we were making with this thing cranking a lot more power, right? Right now it's barely using much more power than if you were just GPU mining. I think we're onto something here, folks. I don't know if this is going to work for every computer, but I'll tell you what, this suddenly is actually worth CPU mining, right? 14 cents a day, and I'm only burning up another 25 watts a day. That is not bad when you consider we're making $1.25 and we're burning 230 watts. So I would say that it's probably, it may even be better that we are CPU mining. So I might try this again, a different CPU. See if we get the same things. Because this is surprising, folks. 141, 258, and we've only lost, well, and it dropped a little bit more. We were at 144 was the highest I saw, right? So let's go ahead and do this so you can see it one last time. Shut off, or we're going to turn turbo boost back on. Let me move this so you can see. This is 100%. So I didn't even save it and it already has changed. So we're back 100%. Way back up here on our core frequency. Now it's at 147. So we're making a little bit more. But look how much more watts. So is it worth turbo boost being disabled? Because that is over 100 some more watts a day, folks, and you're only making 7 more cents. I've got to say, this is something I've never seen anybody else do. Pretty damn impressive, I must say. I'm going to congratulate myself. I am obviously pretty awesome. I've discovered something. What should we call this? The noble method. I'm gonna go ahead and name it, since I'm the one that found it. The noble method. Now there may have been somebody else that found it, but this definitely, folks, is awesome. So if you were to just CPU mine on this, which is kind of stupid, 207 watts, and that includes all the crap on here in the inefficiencies through this. This is 650 watt gold, and you know, it's only useful when you're in a certain range to really get that efficiency. So our efficiency is a lot worse than what's stated on it. But that's pretty interesting. So obviously not a good idea to just CPU mine. But if I cut this, I don't know that we did this. Disable turbo boost. Save it. Back down, right? Not making as much money, right? Wattage. Boom. That's the whole freaking motherboard. All this shit. All my I got dual fans on this thing. If I shut. So let's just talk about what is on this computer. We obviously have a graphics card on here, right? That's not doing anything. You know, maybe it is burning some electric, obviously. If I wanted to CPU mine with this CPU, is it profitable for 20 cents a day if you're burning 75 watts a day? On solar power, sure, right? But in this case, it might not be. So we've got all these things that we could unplug, right? We've got extra drives on here. We've got this stack of drives over here, which may or may not be plugged in. We have 2 fans. I don't need all these fans if I've got turbo boost disabled. Finding the cheapest, be honest with you, if you disable turbo boost like that, you could get away with a, what do they call them, passive fan or whatever. A fan that doesn't have, a tower that does not have fans on it, okay? And then we also have RGB lights, more waste electric. And I think there's another SSD on this. And the motherboard has RGB. So we're wasting a little bit extra watts that, maybe it's a few more watts. But that is awesome, folks. 75 watts to just CPU mine with all this other crap, right? And we're making anywhere from 12 to 17 cents. So, the Noble method, in case you guys aren't familiar with it, Noble method is pretty awesome. So AMD CPU Threadripper, $1.54 a day, 280 watts, net profit 87. Let's find something similar to what we've got here. And this folks does not even include the freaking motherboard and all the other crap, right? This is just the CPU. So these numbers, NiceHash is inflating. They're not very accurate. 65 watts, 75. So we need to break even. Yeah, we'd have to make even 17 cents. This guy, the 6700T, loses 3 cents a day. There is no profitable Intel CPUs on here right now. Ryzen. Yeah. This is the only Intel one that says it makes a profit. Yeah. So, the fact is, though, that you're pretty darn close to making a profit. This is about what we have, right? This guy is using 65 watts, 18 cents, and it makes 2 cents a day. Now, if we could get our CPU, right now it's making 12. It said at one point it made 17, but 12 cents a day, it is not getting the job done. We're losing 3 cents. If I'm on solar power, which, folks, this would be a decent solar power because 75 watts is pretty easy to, you probably got to have multiple panels, right? But I do have solar power rig. You may have seen it on the channel. Just having 100 watt panels not going to get done, right? You need to be able to charge those batteries and run the computer at the same time you're mining, and then at nighttime be running off the batteries to be able to make the most money. But I have all these motherboards. I could be making 22 cents a day, 26 cents a day, right? Well, maybe not that much, but 12 cents a day times all these different CPUs. We're on to something, folks. Maybe we are. Maybe we're not. I do have this 9700, but if you take turbo boost off, that might run even less than 65 watts. Now, what would be fun is if this was not the i7-12700, if it was an i7-12700, to see how much wattage we're actually wasted on the graphics card right now. I mean, you've got that going on, right? There's probably some current flowing through it for whatever reason. Obviously, it's displaying this, right? So it's doing some work. But yeah, interesting, folks. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. I do hope you got something out of it. Turbo boost, disabling it for GPU mining and CPU mining may turn out beneficial to you. All right. As you can see here, though, CPU mining with NiceHash is only beneficial if you're doing solar power. And in my case, I think this allows it to be something you could do because the amount of electric you're using and you're still making money. So